Hello, everyone. Welcome to Razer Labs Expert Series. Razer Labs Expert Series is a series of interviews in which the company's professionals share insights into the unique experiences in the fields of AI, product management, R&D, business innovation, and market disruption. I'm your host. My name is Liel. I'm a director of marketing at Razer Labs. And today we are talking with Assaf Eden. Assaf Eden is the VP product at Razer Labs. He brings 2 decades of product management experience, managing and leading large-scale multidisciplinary and SaaS programs and technology-rich products. He has in-depth understanding of product development processes that include AI, machine learning, computer vision, and robotics. Assaf is passionate about making sure that the client's voice is heard. He knows how to characterize the market needs and transform them into development requirements for products that enable breakthroughs and innovation. Assaf holds BA in Math and Computer Science from Technion and MBA from Haifa University.
Correct.
So Assaf joined Razer Labs in 2022.
Yep, January.
Just right after Razer Labs pivoted from a service-oriented company to product company. And he is leading product development of DataMind AI, which is a flagship product at Razer Labs. DataMind AI is a cutting-edge, all-in-one automated predictive maintenance platform that enables global mining companies to prevent unplanned shutdowns, failures in the machines, predict failures, save operating costs, and increase safety on the mining sites. So, Assaf, let's talk about the journey of identifying the need for DataMind AI and bringing it into life.
Okay, thanks, Liel. Thanks for the intro. As you said, I joined Razer Labs on January 2022.
Early days,
yeah. Razer Labs was more of a service company, great talented people for services that needed AI solution, strong experience with bringing solution in many disciplines. One of the biggest challenges is how to take this core capability, core knowledge, and turn it into a product, not a service, but a product that customers would love to buy, and as a SaaS product, to have it in a yearly basis. So the biggest challenge was to find this connection. And it was a journey that we did in the management team, thinking what should be the right approach, what should be the right product. And when you think of it, basically you need to have something that you start with a search for the market fit. But I would say, as I said in the beginning, the biggest challenge was to identify what can we do with this talent that we have? What can we bring to the market? What is the segment for the customers that would fit the solution that we bring?
Yeah, I think it's a good time maybe for the intro. You know, when I joined Razer Labs, I met Michael Zolotov, who is our CTO, and he gave me the intro. And his first line, I think, was that the downtime, the unpredicted, unplanned downtime at mining companies of the machinery at mining sites cost them up to a few $100,000, just 1 hour. So, and we're talking about the global mining market that mines natural resources. Some of them are extremely critical and needed, like copper and iron ore, and others, lithium, vanadium, everything that's extremely needed. And mining companies need to rely on the machines that extract those resources from the ground.
Exactly.
And that's where the pain is, and that's the pain that Razer Labs is here to solve.
One of these services that Razer Labs gave was to one of a mining company, and from there I started to learn and understand what is the pain points, what these customers really need in their solution. And definitely the mining industry is a heavy machinery industry where they have a lot of failures. That's the nature of the situation when you work with machines like this. And downtime, because it's a process that is one after another, downtime in some cases can create a shot, or an unplanned downtime can create a shot, and definitely a loss of money. And in this industry, it's big money. It's not just every process, every machine has this huge contribution to the entire process. I've tried to focus and say, this is the segment we should go to. The mining segment in many cases, especially in maintenance issues, more high-tech capabilities can be integrated into this industry. And based on my experience, I knew that once we gather a lot of data from sensors and take this AI capability or algorithm capabilities that we have in our company, blending them together will bring wonderful things. So we've started the journey with the mining companies, starting to install sensors and gather data to bring those insights. One of the challenges, or one of the, I would say, the obstacles to say, do we want to be a hardware company, a company that invents sensors, or do we want to be a company that can offer many kind of sensors and use the capabilities of other companies that are really good in sensor manufacturing and developing? And we've decided, at least for this phase, to take off-the-shelf sensors and focus in our core, which is AI.
Sensor fusion.
Sensor fusion, exactly. To take information from many, many sensors, blend it together into our algorithm and provide solutions. And then now, it's easy, maybe now it's easy to say after 2 years, but we see the huge value of our algorithm capability, what it does to our customers.
Correct. Yeah. Thank you for this. So when you just started leading the product development of DataMind AI, after identifying the need and the pain in the market, what was the biggest challenge?
Well, the biggest challenge is when you start is that you have very few customers, your data is very limited, and I'd say there's a lot of guesstimation. What is the thing that we need to do that will really bring value to the customers? So I think that was a huge challenge. Beside the challenge of a company that is changing into a product company that is different, maybe that's a different discussion, but it's totally something that is in a DNA of a company. But for us is, in Israel, you don't have so many mining facilities.
Not true.
And we had to, dig, innovate and dig. And, that's, I think, part of the Israeli...
I remember that in initial stages of the product development, I think we went over all the queries available in Israel, imitating mining sites with all the possible machinery that could be close to what we actually monitor today.
Exactly. And I think this is one of our biggest values to the customers, because when we use sensors, the information that we take from the sensor is not something that we invent. Vibration, temperature, current. These are, as said, off-the-shelf information. Thing is how to take this information together and how to connect it to the right asset, to the right machine, how to bring the real information, the information that is important to this specific machine that we are working on or the customer wants us to work on for predictive maintenance capabilities.
And this is, I think, the time to mention our unique AI sensor fusion capabilities, which your team has been working on. Basically, what you've been saying is that the data is available. It's not an innovative concept. Vibration is not an innovative concept. There are many companies that do vibration testing and also vibration tasting and AI and others. And I think what sets us apart maybe is the fact that we fuse all the data sources together and then we look at the big picture and identify the trends.
Yes, you're definitely correct. That's, we're looking at current, vibration, cameras. One of our sensors is camera. We have a lot of AI capabilities on images, how to identify things that you see in an image, pressure, any kind of sensor, ultrasound, whatever. The idea is to take everything together. Every bit of information gives you something more to better understand the situation of the machine. And this is something that is very unique for us, definitely, to have all the capabilities. And by focusing on how to leverage the information instead of specifically develop the hardware, this is where we are really, really good. Being a product lead or someone that's responsible for the product is something that you wait for. You wait to see the results. You want to see the customer really feeling this value. And
that must be an extremely rewarding experience.
Definitely.
To grow that baby into something that brings value to the customer. That must be really, really
I mean, exactly. The moment where you hear this, the customer satisfaction of what we do and to say, wow, you identified this before. We don't believe. One of our customers, he had a huge fault coming in one of his very major machines in his facility, and we were saying that we see something, and we really explained what it was, and the customer wasn't really sure, and we said, yeah, go check it, and then they checked it, and it was amazing. It was really this close for a huge failure, and this is what we're doing. I mean, when a customer sees that and says, okay, they have the capability, they know what they're doing, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I think that we are only, I would say, as said, in the curve of our fit. We have so many things on our minds that we want to do and want to develop. We see so many, say, gray spots or gray areas where we can bring our technology that can bring huge efficiency to the machines. This also relates to safety issues. It also relates to ESG, pollution, everything, as a whole. Once you have machines that are working properly, then everything, all the peripherals, you get quick wins on everything. And it's very fulfilling for everyone, for us in Razer Labs, and definitely for the customer.
I want to track back a couple of years when Razer Labs was an AI services company developing cutting-edge AI solutions for different verticals. Mining was one of them. And this is how actually Razer Labs was formed. Its core are AI experts. And R&D is based on those unique AI experiences and expertise throughout the team. And I think I heard you speak once that there's a balance between understanding the customer and not falling in love with the AI capabilities that is actually our core. Yeah. Understanding that and kind of moving from that to something else.
And when you go to a customer and you bring solution, customer don't really care if it's an AI solution or if it's a rule-based solution or whatever, any kind of solution. If it brings him value, then that's what he needs. For us, we've decided to invest in the value and not just in the technology. So to bring the value, it doesn't matter if it's an AI or if it's another aspect. But I think that very early, we understood that having the capability is not enough in our product fit. We need to talk with our customers with the same language. We need to have experts, mechanical expert, electronic expert, machinery experts in our team that would speak the same language. It doesn't matter if we talk to one of our customers and we say, okay, we found some uniqueness in the data, it doesn't matter. But if we say, hey, we found a lubrication issue, and because of a bad lubrication process, there is a fault in your machine, then this is the language. And part of our journey was to find those, we call them SMEs, subject matter experts, that would help us in the balance between the customer needs and our capabilities, and to help us focus on exactly the right words and the right solution for our customers.
Also, we're still extremely active in visiting the sites and being present during the implementations and being there to support the initial stages of deployment. But when we just started developing the DataMind AI, a few members of our team, I think you included, literally lived on the sites. Yeah. They went to different sites in South Africa and Australia and North America, and they visited, and they just kept talking to the teams on site and kept getting covered in mud and in coal and in whatever resource dust there was, and trying to get that understanding of the day-to-day operations on the sites. Yeah.
One of the things that is basic for product development is to understand the customer and to be close to the customer, especially in early stages, but throughout the years that come. And so, we had to go into the sites, be there for long weeks, speak with our customers, see what they're doing, see what's their pain, discuss with them. When you start, your first, second, third customer is the most important thing. You build a product around their needs, not only for their needs, but around their needs. and you try all the time to have a solution that would fit many. And the process of identifying it, it's a collaborative work between our sales department, our technology department, R&D, product. Everyone is involved to try and find this uniqueness. We are, when you start, your sources are limited. You want to focus them on exactly to do the correct priority.
Surgical, yeah.
Exactly. And so you need to be close to the customer. You need to hear him. You need to understand what he needs. Sometimes you take this need and develop it in a wider solution, so it would feed a couple more needs in the future. On the other hand, you don't want to invest too much time because you want to do a lot of needs, a lot of solutions. So the first year was definitely focusing on this and understanding exactly which assets are more important for our customers, what kind of solution, what does he want to see, how urgent he wants to hear about failures or any other value that we can bring, and to work very, very close with our R&D team to deliver these solutions.
Brilliant. So working with the R&D team, we visit the sites, as you said, and we get input from the customers, and we bring value, and then we get requests from the field to develop additional features to what we currently offer, and this is an ongoing process. Working with R&D teams, how do you prioritize features and decide what makes it into next stage of the roadmap?
Okay, so this is definitely one of the challenging aspects, especially when you have limited resources, at least at the beginning. But it's always, I think in every company that I work,
a push and pull for that, yeah.
There's always, and never enough resources to fill all the requirements that you need, all the features that you need. But that's
healthy.
Yeah. I mean, it's
there's always going to be a gap between
exactly
customer requirements and the capabilities.
Exactly. So I think the priority is, first you need to listen what the customer wants. You need to listen and to think what, as said before, what can be a wide solution for many, many customers. What is connected to our product? I mean, sometimes customers want things that are not related to what we really do. And, it's not easy to say no to something that, can bring you money inside the company. But when you build a product, you don't want to build small services, so it has to talk with the product concept.
Mm-hmm.
So prioritizing according to the customer needs, according to what relates to our product. We have our customer success requirements. Once you have a customer, you want to keep on delivering new things to him, want to hear what he has to say. And sometimes it's about delivery pace. Sometimes when you balance between a couple of requirements, when you can do some small things that can be fast, deployed very fast, and
low-hanging fruit.
Exactly. And sometimes there's innovation. We bring innovation. Innovation is research. First you research, then you development. It's a longer processes, but you try to do them in small quantities to test whatever you can test and on the customer side. In many discussions with the customer, to really understand what he needs and translate into a product feature.
That's incredible. And also I can see that the acceleration of the pace of development you've been talking about is very significant lately. Lots of new features. Every time we discuss new features, the list keeps growing, and the list of use cases for the customers keeps growing, which is incredible. Yeah.
We are in Israel, we are very used to high-tech companies, but most of the world, I would say it's called low-tech, but it's a lot of tech, but it's low-tech. Mining, for an example. There's so many things that we discuss here that we can bring to this industry. And, mining is one, another is energy. There's a couple
Metals.
more, so many industries that we can bring our capability and literally help them make more money eventually. Do a lot of things that I talked before, but It's when a company invests in something, you really need to show the ROI, the return on investment for the company. And and I think when we talked about prioritization, this is also one of the aspects. What can bring return on investment?
Most ROI.
Exactly. And so I think that there's many opportunities in what is called low-tech industries. There's so many assets there, so many things that you can point and improve. It's called Industry 4.0. It's not something that we invented. Industry 4.0, it's here for many years, but it takes a lot of years for implementation.
Transformation takes time.
Exactly. And I think one more thing is that we found that in many cases, there is a lot of data. Customers have data because they've installed sensors, invested the money. This is where we come with the layer of the smart things on the data. In many cases, we bring sensors with us, but in some cases, we already use the data that is there and take what we call the Industry 4.0 a step further.
Yeah, talking about actually the value, recently saw the statistics. The global mining market alone is estimated around $1 trillion. And around $700 billion is the operating expense of the entire industry. Another statistics showed me that 50% of the entire operating expense of the industry goes to maintenance. So we can estimate that the global mining companies spend around $350 billion a year just on maintaining the machines. So you can think about the value, the potential of the value that our companies or our competitors, can bring to the market. Transformation is critical. It has to happen. And it's exciting to see that there are a lot of mining companies who already adopt that. And we're only talking about the financial aspect here, but there are also other aspects like energy efficiency and safety, which is also crucial for every mining company. It's really inspiring to hear the story of shaping of DataMind AI product. Can you share some experience or maybe some sort of story that an indicator of when you realize that you're on the right track, that product is succeeding, that it's not something that's gonna... I mean, we know that all startups and tech startups, they get into this death valley. They think that they have identified the need, they start developing the product, they have initial interest, and then things kind of die off. When did you know that you're on the right track with DataMind AI?
Our sales team, when they went and talked with potential customers, one of the major problems was to prove our value, because we're working on failures, and you need a failure to happen in order to prove value.
Yeah, that could be tricky, right? Because a mining site can operate for weeks.
Yeah.
Without any failures. And when we offer pilots to test out the product, it's a few weeks. So
exactly, it's a few weeks on a sample of machines. A pilot is always and we want our customers always to have healthy machines, but to prove our value, we need a failure, and we need to say that a failure is going to happen
before it happens.
But if we say it would happen, then how do you know it happens? Because it won't happen. So this cycle was very, very challenging, and I think that after our first pilot, maybe a couple of weeks, we had the privilege, if we can say privilege, to find a failure and tell one of our customers, you need to replace this component. And once he took this component out, it was very obvious, the failure. It was very...
the deterioration was really...
it was really easy to see. And there, I think everything connected. Using our experts, using our algorithms, installing our sensors, getting the data, working close with the customer, and then finding something that the customer could not have found it without, a last-minute failure or a manual check or something. Exactly. And when this happened, very fortunate for us, it happened many times after that. But the first time was this situation when, you have this, we call it product market fit feeling. And I think this was something that we all waited to happen. And from there, we just, took all our thoughts and all our innovations faster. And I think that also the customers feel it.
Yeah, it's I think the concept that you developed of that umbrella. We have a software, which is our software, and then we have hardware that we utilize off shelf, like you said. And then we have subject matter experts who are experienced condition monitoring and maintenance
Yes.
professionals that add value to our software, and then we have a support team. So that kind of that umbrella, I think, is a winning mix for
Exactly.
this industry.
Maybe I can also add that we're trying to do our product very simple. We don't want to do complicated things. We want to do complicated things behind the scene, but very simple to our users. It took us a couple of, say, weeks or maybe first months to understand the personas that are using our product. And in the mining industry, you have the reliability team, and you have the maintenance team, you have condition monitoring experts, sometimes part of the reliability team. You have the engineering team. Everyone has his own, let's say, KPI, similar to every job, and everyone has different interests. So we try to take our product and focus it on each persona will have his own, I would say, personalization in our product that is relevant for him or that is more important for him, but always simple, not too complicated. We have complicated information if you want to dive into it, but if you don't dive, if you want, as a maintenance persona, you want to know if there's a problem.
Where's healthy?
Exactly.
Or faulty.
What is a problem? And please tell me
exactly
maybe
what to do.
What to do. Maybe tell me what is the root cause. Tell me what to do. So this is one focus. Another focus is condition monitoring expert in a reliability team. He wants to see the data. He doesn't just want to know what the failure is. He wants to see the data. He wants to see what happened to this sensor, how this sensor react, and because this is his persona. This is what he likes to do. So our product is aimed for each persona, specialized for.
It could be as simple as you need it to operate.
Exactly.
And as deep in terms of data as the experts needed on the site.
Well said.
That's brilliant. Yeah. That's actually really, really brilliant because I remember also talking to, in those days that I think I also visited one of the quarry sites here in Israel, and they were using competitor solution. I think their major feedback was about the fact that, okay, we get an alarm that there's a failure coming. We don't know when. We don't know what the failure exactly is going to be, and we don't know what to do. And now basically we just need to open the entire machine and try to understand what the problem is.
Yeah.
While I think DataMind AI really focuses on the elements of the machine. So it could be bearing, it could be
anything,
any component of the machine, and then there's a specific action item that you are given to take care of that, to prevent that failure eventually from happening.
Exactly. We have a fault, cause, and action. That's it. Very simple. And in some cases, the cause may be one or two options. In some cases, the action can be one or two, but we are narrowing it based on our AI. This is where our AI goes into action.
Mm-hmm.
We're narrowing it based on all the fusion, all the data that we have from the sensors, fuse them together, and bring those insights. Totally valuable. You just think about your car as an example. Instead of taking it every 1 year or X miles or kilometers into service, just imagine you have a software that would say, don't need to do it. Maybe you need to do it in 2 more months, 3 more months. The situation of the car is this and that. And, why do we all need to do it on the same time? One driver is this, one driver uses different. And,
it's true.
This is what we do. This is what we do for the mining industry.
It's like we always, when we talk about DataMind AI, we always talk about the comparison to the medical field. We say just like the doctor doesn't just, say you're sick with that. He orders a lot of tests and blood tests and X-ray and maybe something else, maybe MRI. then he looks at the entirety of the data, and then he diagnoses. So we always say that DataMind AI does the same, because we look at all the sensor data that we can get. And if we're talking about the comparison to the medical field, there's a term of over-medication.
Oh.
Now, there are protocols when you come to visit a doctor with a certain problem, sometimes when he doesn't do the exact 360 degrees investigation into your health, he would just prescribe antibiotics or shots or whatever. And we don't want to over-medicate people, and that's the same way we don't want to over-maintain the machines, because it's expensive and you don't want to disrupt the operation. So you want to make sure that you don't preventively maintain machines.
Exactly. It's something that we learned after, say, 1 year with one of our customers. Because we get this intimate relationship, we also get into the maintenance processes that are happening at site. Doesn't really relate to the faults.
Those are the scheduled shutdowns, the scheduled maintenance. Yeah.
Exactly. And we learn and see that sometimes there's over maintenance, things that are not needed. And this is also something that we are currently working on. And we want to give a solution that is a whole solution. Everything that is related to preventive or predictive maintenance.
Yeah, there's this whole time management methodology in mining, not just in mining, probably across industries, where they look at the entirety of the active times of machines when they're active. And in advance, they already know that there will be a month and a half out of a year where those machines won't work. And this is something that they don't even consider unplanned shutdown. That's normal. It's part of the budget, part of the schedules. But to think of it, maybe it's not necessarily. Maybe that window could also be decreased by a certain %, not just unplanned shutdowns, but also planned.
Definitely.
Shutdowns.
When you maintain your asset properly, or when it's needed, then they're healthier assets. Then you don't need to do. And I'm very careful when I say it, because it's not in all cases. In some cases that we found, you don't need to do maintenance tasks that are often required as a regular procedure. But we need to be with our customers for a long time until we start to pinpoint those issues.
Assaf, I think you mentioned to me today that you can see after months of working with customers that machines actually become healthier.
Yeah.
I can see that trend. Can you talk more about it?
We're gaining experience with our customers, and we definitely see that once customers use DataMind, their machine become healthier because of the discussions. Because, as said, we have SMEs that are working very close. We have customer success engineers that are working very close with our customers, and we see that machines or assets that we start to work with begin in a less healthier situation than after a couple of months of working with us. Sometimes there's a contradiction because the machines get old. But when you look at shorter periods, you see that machines are more healthier because they are monitored 24/7. Issues come up very early, identified very early. There's enough time to fix them, and you don't work with a machine that has a failure for many, many weeks and months. So the machine becomes healthier.
And the power consumption probably goes down, and the overall load goes down, and overall wear doesn't happen.
Exactly. And, it's a good point, because in some cases, once you have a failure in the machine and you don't take care of this failure, then other failures start to happen because of this failure. And once you work on this failure and fix it, then you prevent all those failures that would have happened. So it's another aspect why the machine is healthier. Less faults, less degradation, less issues, and happier maintenance and reliability engineers.
Which is crucial.
Yeah.
And it's also crucial because every type of machine, if we're talking about mining machines, like crushers and conveyors and mills and stackers, each machine costs a few $1 million. So when they go out of service and you need to replace them, it's a significant load on the budget of the mining site.
Yes, it's it's a very harsh environment. We go globally to many areas that are isolated or very far from big cities, and those areas can be like deserts or icy area, I would say. It's warm and cold. Temperatures are very high, very low. The atmosphere there is very crucial, and keeping maintenance of this machine costs a lot of money. If you want to bring spare parts to this area, if you need to have inventory,
They're remote. Yeah.
sometimes you need very specific people that would come. So imagine you have a failure in a very far
The trunion of the mill.
exactly, and you need to bring someone special. There's not always someone on site. So once you know it's going to happen and you know that something is degrading, you can plan. And when you plan, you do things better. You optimize your processes, your money, your people, and this is what we do. This is how we help.
Beautiful. Going forward, what trends do you see shaping the future of DataMind AI with all the emerging technologies and emerging technological trends of today?
As I said before, we have so many ideas. I mean, if we had 1,000 people working with us, then we would have things to do for all of them. But I think that if we focus right now, then we are all the time in the search of unique sensors that will bring us special data, special capabilities. So this is one thing. The other thing is working on our fusion capabilities and improving them all the time. AI is always, not always, but you train it to become 90, 91, 95, 96, 97% accuracy. And not everything is AI. So we want to bring more and more algorithms. So it's sensors, it's solution and algorithms. More and more customers bring us more and more ideas. So it might change, but I think that's the main focus, these two things, sensors and algorithms. In the value for the customer, my perspective is bringing together the maintenance capabilities or the maintenance activities and the failures. Bring them together would bring a lot of insights to our customers that today are hard to find, and we'll bring them.
As a product management expert with over 2 decades of experience, what tools, resources, or courses would you recommend to people who are beginning their journey in the product management?
There is never enough learning. There's always more and more. I think that it's important to start with, as a product manager, to have experienced product managers next to you so you can learn and see how they work. I think this is one. Two, you need to work very close with R&D and with sales. A lot of good ideas and good solutions come from these discussions. There's a tend to think that product managers need to define the solution, and it's wrong. It's more of defining the requirement and let the R&D, the teams that can bring the solution, let them bring the solution. Work hand in hand to hear good ideas, good ways of solutions. And I think that's the second thing. And always learn more and more. There's so many webinars and courses, and you need to find what's important for you. And if you're if you're in a phase of product discovery, then search for product discoveries, tools, processes. If you're in a feature discovery, in a product market fit, in how to prioritize, it depends what you need to do. If you're managing sprints for R&D, if you're working on how to optimize sprints, if you're working on competition, how to learn about what your competition is doing, who is competing with you, or who you are competing with, then so many things in the web. You can learn whatever you.
Yeah. In this day and age, it's insane how much data and information is out there.
Everything is available.
And so I think the challenge is not the lack of data, but the lack of time to absorb the data.
Lack of time, and how to get the good insights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How to get insights out of data.
Yeah.
Yeah. How can our listeners connect with you or learn more about your work?
So the LinkedIn, I think that's the biggest
Go-to.
the go-to for professional networking. So I'm there. Many times I get questions in product management or specifically in the industry that I'm at. So just search me there and feel free. Ask. Maybe I can help. Maybe I can learn from you. Whatever.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Hey,
Okay.
thanks, Liel.
So we're wrapping it up. It was me, Liel, and Assaf Eden, VP Product at Razer Labs. Thank you for a great talk. Extremely insightful, really interesting. We're always we work together and we're at the same meetings, but I thank you for the opportunity to get your unique perspective of product development. It's a different angle, different dimension to the work that we all do at Razer Labs. So it was extremely interesting. I really loved it.
Thanks. It was great fun. Thank you.